I am so excited to talk to you today about how to fix things before they become big things, because little things can easily become big things. But I want to start by introducing myself. My name is Emily Hawkins, and I spent 15 years in the corporate world as an operations expert. And after spending those 15 years in the corporate world, streamlining processes for productive results, I left the corporate world in 2017 to open my own business. And in that time, I took my business to $1 million business. And I am sharing with you exactly how to do that because it's not complex. It doesn't require a degree, actually, just a dream, right? And I want to demystify the things in our businesses that scare us the most, and that's typically the operations piece. And today is no different. I want to share with you 3 different things in your business that you could be thinking right now are small and they could end up hindering you, because I want you to remember that the devil is in the details. Here's the thing though. The devil doesn't have to live there, right? The devil is just there if we're not looking at things from their proper lens. So if we take the time and we understand where our weaknesses are, the devil goes home. He goes somewhere else. But it's about taking the time with those small details. Now, what small details am I referring to? Well, I actually believe, and I'm sorry this is like mouse type, maybe that's a problem. I believe that there are 3 different things inside of your business that could seem like small things, but will have astronomical results in your business if you're doing them well and if you're not doing them well. And I would rather you do them well, but I want to focus on what maybe you're not doing as well, because our blind spots are just that. There are blind spots. We are not as aware of those types of things. So let's talk about what these are: how you spend your time, how you support your team, and how you serve your customers. All 3 of these, obviously, as these bullets, feel very big. Of course, I'm noticing these things. But I'm telling you right now that there are 3 things that you're doing that you may not even be aware of. So I want to talk about where you're spending your time. So a good portion of us think that we are spending our time in strategy. And in fact, we're spending a little bit of time in strategy and we're focused in the weeds. So what would be the weeds in your business? Spending a lot of time on a landing page, spending time trying to figure out the fonts of your business, the color scheme, really going over something with a fine-tooth comb. I know that email marketing is incredibly important, but if you are spending 20 hours on one email, I can almost guarantee you that your business will not have overarching success for a long period of time. So let's talk about why that is. So this seems like a small problem, right? Like, you're detail oriented. Emily, didn't you just tell us that the devil's in the details? Yes, but just like I said, if it takes you 20 hours to get one email out, you are in perfectionism. And when you are in perfectionism, if you have a team, you are micromanaging the heck out of these people. You are looking at everything that's going wrong. You're redoing things multiple times, and you are creating a bottleneck inside of your business. And here's the thing. It becomes a big problem because you are so focused over here in the weeds that you miss that the market is shifting. The market is moving. You, as the owner and founder, need to be the visionary within the business. What are you seeing happening in the market? And then are you relaying that to your team? Well, your team doesn't really care because all you do is nitpick them. All you do is tell them all the things that are going wrong, and you review everything they do, you're standing over their shoulder, and so they get disengaged. And when people get disengaged, they leave, because people do not leave failing companies, they leave bosses that are failing to communicate. So What is the next problem that you might be having? Well, how you are supporting your team. So a really good example here is you have given them processes. You have taught your people how to fish. You have given them a pond with which to fish from. So let me explain this. Or maybe, they don't have anything and they're sitting by themselves and they have nothing. They're all alone. They're like fending for themselves. So what do I mean by you gave them a pond to fish from? Well, what I mean by this is you have set them up with the right processes. You have provided them with tools that they can easily reference when they are looking for information, which means they're not always relying on you. Because if they're constantly relying on you, there are times that you're going to be in meetings, you're going to be meeting with clients, you're going to be doing high-level things, right? We should be doing those high-level things. We just learned something in the last thing, right? And so they're going to need to be able to fish. But if you're just like, oh, just figure it out, do it on your own, and you leave them to their own devices, well, their work quality isn't going to be great. And you're going to have to rework whatever they do because they have no frame of reference. There are no processes. There are no documents. There is no library for them to work from to know what good quality work looks like. And this becomes a big problem because your business is not scalable. Because you are actually the bottleneck. You are having to do all the things and you will burn out. Your employees will burn out. And here's the other thing that nobody talks about. When you don't have processes in place, it's actually costing you money. You have to find more expensive talent because you don't have time to create the processes that will actually save you money, save you personally from burnout, and keep employees longer, and they will be cheaper because you have lifted the creative burden for them. So while this seems so small, and I would say the majority of business owners that I work with, when I say, what kind of processes do you have in place? Do you have any standard operating procedures in place? I hate that term because it sounds so clinical. So I really just say, do you have anything that people can look at so that they know they're doing a good job, whether that be processes or metrics, because really both of those can help. And I get this, I don't want to do that. It's going to take too much time and I don't have time. And I want to talk about problem number 3 because this is why they don't have time. They don't have time because it's how they're serving their customers. So there are 2 different ways of serving your customer. And yes, there's a pun in the slide and I hope you get it. You can either treat your customers like a marriage where you are constantly pouring into these people and you're giving and receiving all the time. Or you can treat them like a one-night stand. Yes, I know, it's a great joke. I love it. I'm here all week. Or, what I mean by this is one and done. You get the money from the person and you say, see you later, and you never do business with those people again. A scalable business needs to have repeat services. It could be a consumable like toilet paper, right? That is a repeat business. Good job, toilet paper manufacturers everywhere. Although, you're not going to charge a whole lot for that. But you need something in your business that is either consumable like that or giving them a reason to come back, such as a hierarchy. So you start at one place and you give different levels of service depending on where they are. So a marriage is so much better than a one-night stand. And so what happens with the one-night stand? Well, remember the last slide where I was talking about how business owners tell me all the time, I don't have time to get processes in place because I need to make sales. That's what happens when you're treating your customers like one-night stands, because you are having to make sales the most important component of your business. Is sales important in your business? Yes, of course you need to bring in revenue, right? But when you bring someone in and you can repeatedly get revenue from someone, all of a sudden you get a repeatable model and business that grows. Here's the other thing. When you treat people like a one-night stand, they know it. They feel like a number. They do not feel loved and cared for when you are like, oh my gosh, I got the money, okay, bye. But if you are doing this, there are two things that happen. You will always be treading financial water. You will always be looking at your bank account, hoping and praying for something different, probably making desperate moves, never having enough money to invest in the long-term benefits of your business, the back of the house, creating those processes for your team, hiring and loving those teammates in the right way, looking at your systems and knowing what should be going on and those market trends so that you are meeting those customers where they are. And by the way, when you treat customers like they're a one-night stand, the other factor that happens is your reviews, if you have any, will not be good. When you have great reviews, it's because you have a marriage relationship, right? It's because people enjoy working with you because you see them. You see where they are. And people who are on the sales hamster wheel do not have time for this. So I hope that today was informative for you and that you will take one of these actions. But here's the thing. I got something for you. Next week, I am doing a 5-day challenge because I know as business owners that you are strapped for time and you want differences made in your business, but you can't get off that sales wheel right now. Sales matter. So what if I told you you didn't have to get off the sales wheel? And in fact, we could focus on the 5 main pieces inside of your business to create change to actually make you more profitable. So you get to keep more money and you get to keep more employees, the good ones, and maybe even, definitely even amp up that productivity. So if you are game for this, I cannot wait to see you next week. It is a 5-day challenge where each day I will be going live inside of my group and we will dive into each of these things in a short little video. And each day you will have a little bit of homework that will take you not a lot of time because I understand you don't have it. And by the end of the week, you will have certain things in place that you never thought possible, that you have been putting off for a long time, that at one point was a small thing, and now you see it as a big thing. I hope that you join me next week, and we will talk soon.